What is up, my Scoundrel brothers and sisters? Hope you are doing well. It is your man Clash coming to you with a new video deep dive on what we're calling the SWat Team, that is Scoundrels and Wat. A very effective composition to take down even the most formidable of Sith Empire with all the relics in the world. And I'm going to walk you through essentially how we got to this craft and why it's worked so well. First, I got to take you to where it originally started once I was able to get relics on my Scoundrels with the old version of the Master Scoundrels. This is one that's been around for a really long time, and one that's worked on everything from JKR to others. It wasn't effective against Darth Revan, but now that we have relics on our Scoundrels, it does very, very well, and I was able to take out an R7 Malak with this. Now, the version we're going to talk about is definitely going to include Wat Tambor, now that we have him unlocked on my account. But if you don't have Wat, don't worry, it's definitely something that you can still probably do with Hermit Yoda if you have the right modding and consistency of gameplay that I'm going to walk you through here. So I'm going to show you quickly what the team looks like. This is going to be a slide of what's the Master Scoundrel, so just take Hermit Yoda out and just put Gear 8 Wat Tambor with his 8 on there, and that's what I show almost all of this footage as. Definitely 2 Relic 7s on there in Nest and Vandor Chewbacca. And L3 just needs to be at least healthy enough to take on some of the damage. To do what we're going to do, though, we need to take a quick walk down memory lane and show you the evolution of the Master Scoundrels, because I think it's important to understand why this works, going all the way back to how this started, which was my first video. It was called Jedi Whack-A-Mole. I published it almost a year ago, where I was able to take on JKR, recently mint to JKR with Kira. It was they definitely nerfed Nest after that, but I was still able to do it with Kira. Then they buffed Bastila, so that took that out. But I was able to do it against Darth Revan with no Malak. I was able to get it accomplished with bugs very, very consistently, and also against the reworked clones. This is something that I've been able to use very, very well against the reworked clones also, and still able to use it against the not fully relicked R7 version of Jedi, but definitely anything 3 and below I think works out really, really well. Now let's take a look at modding and how this needs to be accomplished for the team, because there are some important factors. Vandor Chewbacca, probably the most critical. You need to have a lot of health on him and little protection. If you want to know the math why, I'm going to link my modding Vandor Chewbacca video in the description below. Give you a lot more context. For Nest, Tenacity is going to be your most versatile use for her on offense and defense, really, if you're using under Kira lead. But that's going to give you everything you need to be able to take on almost all of the different meta counters that we're going to be able to take on. I do like critical damage as her triangle. For L3, I suggest protection and health. If you want to throw in some tenacity, you certainly can, but because she gets such a sizable bonus to her protection from relics as well as her unique, I think that's definitely going to be your best option. So now let's go into the reasons that I really love this comp. The first and easiest is going to be our girl Kira. Even though against things like Darth Revan and others, she definitely dies very early on in the game, her leadership persists, and it is one of the most effective Omega leaders in the game for what you get. You get additional crit chance, you get protection recovery, and then you get bonuses based on the role that Scoundrel plays. And for the attackers and tanks in this comp, it is super, super helpful. And really, from anything you can possibly imagine, again, everything from JKR to DR, the one meta that's really, really tough with this one, just because of the way it punishes all the counterattacks, is Traya, of course, so that's not one I would recommend. But the Master Scoundrels or the SWat Team, either version of this, is really, really useful. And a main reason for that is that the constant revives that are going on are just, it gives you so much time to let Nest build up her damage, and that is something that really takes over the longer the battle goes. The second thing I want to go into is the Scoundrel Triumvirate. I guess we can call it that if you want, and that is those 3. It is VC, Nest, and L3. And what essentially is happening is either in the Master Scoundrels version or in the SWat Team version, the permanent buff on Vandor Chewbacca is going to be really making this a highly durable and highly effective composition. He's going to regain 10% of his health as protection, which for him is going to be 18,000. He's going to be giving half of that to the others as protection, so that's another 9,000 that they're going to be gaining every time they are attacked and he is not. And for Vandor Chewbacca, every time he is able to regain all of his protection based on that, he is going to get prepared. And because he has so much health and so little protection, he's basically prepared almost the entire battle, which it gives everyone constant revives and allows Nest to really stack up her damage the longer the battle goes. So the tech is going to be really important now too. While Master's Training is a great buff, it does a lot for especially things like a solo Nest against things because of tenacity. It definitely doesn't have some of the versatility that the tech does from Wat Tambor. I really prefer a couple of things to be done here, and I'm gonna show you how that gets accomplished in this next clip. So with the Zeta, the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put the med pack on Vandor Chewbacca. This extra health and protection recovery is going to make sure that he is getting prepared much more quickly. Second thing is you're going to want to put the actual tank tech on Nest. Some would argue that the one where it gives her more damage is better, and I can see why it would still be a good second option, but I prefer Nest coming out of all of those debuffs, especially the critical hit down that can be applied based on some of the debuffs that they give. I really like her having all those buffs cleared every time it's her turn. Now, the fourth thing I really love about this team is the consistency. And when I say consistency, I mean that I am zero afraid to take this against any Darth Revan team, either in Arena, in Grand Arena, or in Territory Wars, and I've been doing it consistently for over a week now, such that I honestly don't think there's, even if there was full gear 13, all Relic 7, I think I would still have a really good shot at beating them. This comp you're seeing here is one that has 3 of those at Relic 7, and is one that I think is probably one of the more formidable on my shard, but the mechanics of the game allow it to be as effective at one relic level as it does another, and so I hope you're seeing this and thinking that if you are going to make some investments, especially things that aren't just the meta, this could show you something that's very, very useful and give you another very effective Darth Revan, Darth Malak counter. All right, and this last little thing here is just some feedback I got on defense. I don't have it on video yet on defense, but when I do, I'll definitely share that with you all. My shardmates next let me know. He went at it a couple times, and it's not an easy thing to get around. Once you get the mechanics of it, you can, but it's definitely something that trips people up. So thanks again for watching, and if you haven't already, please join us in the Scoundrel Discord. I'll see you all on the holotables.